Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome once again to the Funk Chronicles. I'm your host, Dr. Turk Logan from Logan Communication and the Funk Music Hall of Fame. I'm very honored to have with me today the mayor of Trotwood, Mayor Joyce Sutton-Cameron, the mayor of Trotwood. Mayor, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Mayor, you have been mayor for, we talked 6 years, and you inherited the former mayor, because the term is what, 4 years?
4 years.
Okay. And like I've said earlier when we talked offline, I have a passion for Trotwood because, again, my daughter graduated from Trotwood High School. My granddaughter graduated from Trotwood High School. And my first cousin is assistant principal. And I'm told that you live right across the street from one of my aunts. So I have family in Trotwood. So every time I come to Trotwood, I get a tingle, a real good feeling about your city. And it's an honor to talk to you for several reasons. One is because you're a black female in a mayor position. And one of my dear friends was former mayor of Dayton, Ohio, Ryan McLean.
Yes.
And I was just so excited to see her walk in the footsteps of her late father, C.J. McLean. My wife and I live in Xenia, and Marsha Bayless, another black mayor, is the mayor of, and I think she's going into her second,
yes.
graduate of Central State University, former teacher, principal, and now mayor, I think, going into. So it's just an honor to see so many black females in these positions running metropolitan cities. Now, we've noticed over the years a decline in business in Trotwood, and I know you have a plan on the table. Talk about it.
Okay. Our plan is to continue to implement the strategic plan that we have currently on the table, and that is being sustainable in our financial position, our economic development, and our community image.
Okay.
With that said, we have in the past had many big box businesses leave our community. We have also had a decline in our housing market in the city of Trotwood. Those are the two things that we're focusing on at this time. Okay. Now, to go with the economic development piece, the thing that we're doing today through the government center is we're trying to repurpose our big box buildings. Okay. And that is our Sears, our Target, our Kmart, our Elder Beerman. We also had the Elder Beerman over on Main Street torn down. It was under demolition. It's been gone 2 years. And so with that, these big boxes are coming back. We're repurposing these buildings, but we're bringing in light manufacturing in most of them. Okay. And this will create jobs. Good. It will increase our tax base in the city of Trotwood.
I've seen that.
That is what we're doing at this time as far as our economic development, big box business scenario. On the other hand, we have developed through the city of Trotwood a corporation called Community Improvement. And that is where we have set up a 501c3 organization within the government structure. We are now purchasing and rehabbing our homes and putting them back on the market, which will also increase our tax base.
Well, you know, you and I talked offline, and one thing we both agree on, when big business comes into the market, a lot of times they run mom and pops out of the market. When big business leaves the market, 9 times out of 10, or probably 10 times out of 10, they won't come back.
Exactly.
And that kind of opens the door, I would think, for some mom and pop and small business to come back in the market to reestablish themselves as major leaguers in a market like Trotwood and like it used to be. What's your take on that?
And this is definitely some of the things that we are doing. And in our conversation to all of the people that we deliver the message to regarding Trotwood, we tell them about the welcoming spirit that we have for the small business scenario to join in and come in and set up these mom and pop businesses in the city of Trotwood. Now, for instance, we will say that we have a couple of new restaurants in Trotwood. We have 2 Mexican restaurants. We have The Taste. We have another business down on Shiloh Springs.
Okay.
It used to be DeAnthony's, but it's halftime now. So all of these facilities now are coming in with private owners, you know, wanting to join in. Good. With the big picture in Trotwood.
So it looks like some of the things we discussed are starting to happen.
Exactly.
Well, excellent. Well, let's keep our fingers crossed that the growth continues, because I know that's, you know, back in the day, mayors were just store window. You know, kiss the babies and shake hands. I'm sure today mayors are involved in budgets and planning and all kind of things that go on in the city.
Exactly. And for the mayor's position in the city of Trotwood, it is mostly somewhat of what you are seeing. But in the mayor's seat, you also, you know, run 2 meetings a month. You also go out and you speak about the growth and the things that are happening in Trotwood, and this is very important. You have to be able to go out and invite people to come in. For those of us who live there and we just go by day, we get up, you know, you do whatever it takes to live a comfortable life. Right. But there's also that other picture to where to be a part of the Northwest region, we must be a player at the table. Okay. And this is something that is very important for our government in the city of Trotwood.
That's excellent. Let's talk a little bit about the Funk Museum Hall of Fame and Exhibition Center. I've heard you mention that you're a potential board member. You've been approached by David. He's approached probably Barack Obama and Michelle Obama. He's approached everybody. Yes. But you know, as he should. He's doing a magnificent job. You've also been put on an educational committee. And tie those two in together from the standpoint of the Funk Museum and education.
The city of Trotwood, in the charter of the city of Trotwood, there is mention of a National League of Cities and U.S. Conference of Mayors and the conferences that we attend as council people. As the mayor, I go to the U.S. Conference of Mayors, and I have also joined in with the mayor of Xenia. I took her to her first conference this past January.
Excellent.
And I was her mentor and leading her through that conference. She thoroughly enjoyed it. Also, I attend the National League of Cities Conference, and I have been appointed for the year of 2015 Vice Chair of National League of Cities Youth Education and Families.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Thank you. And on that committee, we are tasked with community things for our youth that will get them focused on education inside the academic realm and also in the community.
Okay.
There are opportunities to introduce many learning aspects of a child's life, and certainly music is one of those things that we are looking forward to advancing as a choice for those youth who are wanting to learn about the legacy of music in general.
Good.
And the funk music will be a part of that.
Excellent. I heard you mention that you're a Daytonian.
Yes.
And you come from a fairly large family.
Yes.
And your uncle had a skating rink.
Yes.
Was it Harry Mayo?
No, it was Denzel Dillard.
Okay.
Highview Skating Rink.
Okay, I remember Highview Skating Rink. My wife was an avid skater. I mean, she must have come rolling out when she was born. I spent more time behind the microphone at the skate park. Yeah, but you know, so you came up in the funk area listening to a particular radio station. I'm sure that, you know, I heard George ask, well, why has this taken so long? And like I told you, it's been 44 years, and I've been kind of waiting for it to come full circle. And I'm glad I'm still here when it came full circle. And now it's starting to come to fruition. Give me your assessment on the whole thing of funk music, and I know you're doing a thing with funk with music in general, but give me your assessment of that.
One of the things about funk music is that when I was coming up as a youngster, funk music, gospel, blues, all of it was just mixed
together,
all in the neighborhood.
Right.
You know, they would have rehearsals in their homes and let up the windows and things. And we as youngsters, we would be dancing out in the street, acting like we playing the guitar.
Exactly.
You know, just different things. And you never know what a child takes on when they actually see things in action. You know, a lot of people are action people.
Sure they are.
They're not ones to say that, you know, I'm learning this and, you know, but putting it in action is really the main piece of this, and bringing that funk music back, because, you know, it's not determined on us, on the groups that have been formed.
Right.
They're now gone. You know, certain ones have moved on, and different things happen in life.
Right.
But to bring it back to the home base, I graduated from Roosevelt High School a long time ago. And I tell you, funk music was in the circle up on 3rd Street.
Well, when I was a freshman at Roosevelt High School in 1964, WDAO came on the air in October of 1964. And we finally had something that we could relate directly to a black radio station for black people.
Exactly.
And I not only listened, but had the privilege of being a radio personality there, a music director, and a program director over a 13-year period. So I have an intricate piece in that as it relates to the music, because I was there when it all started to evolve into where it is now. And it's like you said, I remember my daughter, who is in her mid-40s now, when she was 8, 9 years old, I took her to WDAO with me, and thinking through a little osmosis, she would try to walk in her father's footsteps. And she was more interested in my afro than she was getting involved in radio. And today she's been a very successful beautician for almost 35 years. And I'm not mad at her about that, but because she does well in her career. And I peeped it when she was like 8 or 9 years. I said, this woman's going to be a beautician. She has no interest in radio. So it's like you said. And the good news with what we're doing here is we're able to pass on to the next generation something that hasn't been developed before.
Yes. And you would be surprised that I deal a lot with going to the schools, you know, working with the children academically as well as socially. I go to all of their games and, you know, those things. And you have to be consistent when you do things like this, because if a child sparks an interest, then they're going to need us as the leaders to kind of guide them and to keep them on track with these things that they're so passionate about. So that is very important.
Well, you know, I asked you about education, and you said you're at Wilberforce, and the first thing I said, oh, you're teaching at Wilberforce? You said, no, I'm a student.
Exactly.
And so education is a major part of your life right now. You going back to school to work on your degree.
Yes.
I'm assuming you're in the Climb program at Wilberforce, which I had the pleasure of teaching for over 5 years and had some great adults, and then I transferred over to the traditional undergrad program for many years at Wilberforce and had a great time over there working with them. So you sell education because you're in education, you're working on your degree.
Yes, and that was very important for me to go back. I had so much on my platter, and it's just going to take me a year. And on this fall, I will be degreed, and I will be able to continue my venue with encouraging young people and adults to go back and do that.
That's very, very, very important, because I worked at Central for 23 years and Wilberforce for 18 years, and so education, and went back to school myself to get an advanced degree. So I understand. I sell education myself, and have some great youngsters that graduated from Central State and Wilberforce universities, and see them when they came in as freshmen, many of them from the inner city. They came in with little of nothing but a dream, and then leaving 4 years later, and then 10 years later seeing them develop into that flower.
That's such a powerful statement.
Yeah, it is powerful. And they come back and say, Dr. Logan, you know, I'm general manager of this radio station, and I'm working at BET, and I'm working at TV1. And I mean, I tell you, it just, it was my plan. And it really, really, really worked. And it's just so refreshing to see our youngsters grow and develop in the school system. You are and will be directly involved in our moving forward of the Funk Museum. What do you see your involvement from that standpoint?
My involvement is, number one, is to be able to join in with such a team that is focused on doing it right.
Right.
You know, going through the steps of doing it right, getting the word out there, not just jumping and leaping all over the place. This is such a concentrated movement.
Right.
And for the idea of having a brick and mortar place to where people can come and feel comfortable and really learn about their history is a key to keeping this alive in our area.
Well, you know, you hit the nail on the head, because several weeks ago, Dayton Daily News did an interview with me, and the first thing I said, it appears that David's organization is doing it right. And for so many years, you know, not that I wanted to talk about my history and my involvement, but I thought it was so important that we honor the guys and females that came from Dayton, Ohio, and you know, it could be regional and it could be national, but right now we're talking Ohio Players and Roger and Heatwave and Lakeside and Sun and all the guys. And all these guys had major contracts, sold millions of records across the country. And to honor them, to give them a place, or give our grandkids a place that they could come and see the contributions that they made. So it's really an honor to be a part of this, and I'm sure. Give us something in closing that we can take away with this from your city of Trotwood, and also from the Funk Museum and Museum Hall of Fame.
I would just like to say that Dave is a resident of Trotwood.
Right.
And that he gives back to community in a large way. And with him moving forward with this, I am asking all of those who could contribute on behalf of the Funk Museum to please come forward and join in with us to make this something that will be lived forever.
Thank you, Mayor. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Funk Chronicles with your host, Turk Logan, and Mayor Joyce Sutton-Cameron, the Mayor of Trotwood. Good luck in all your endeavors with the city of Trotwood. Great city. I'm passionate about Trotwood for obvious reasons, and I wish you all the luck in any way that we can assist you in the growth of Trotwood. You know, we own a radio station, so we can put any information about your city that's global on our station, and I don't have to ask permission because I own it. So
thank you. So thank you for that offer.
And anytime we want to keep your city out front, and let people know about what's going on in Trotwood, Ohio.
Thank you so much.
Thank you again, Mayor. Bless you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Join us again. I'm your host, Dr. Turk Logan, for the Funk Chronicles from Logan Communication and the Funk Music Hall of Fame and Exhibition Center. We'll see you next time.